Dinosaurs!
So guys, welcome back. Pulverizer. This thing crushes items. Bam. So I've been a bit busy trying to figure out what to use for power, and I ended up just throwing up a heat generator, because it's the only thing I can make. Like, that is it. I tried making a steam turbine from factorization, and it required a bunch of stuff, like sulfur, and, like, look, it seemed easy. Steam... So there are different pieces of steam, like all these are different, there's the steam turbine right here, which requires nether brick, which I don't have. So then there's the steam bit, this one, which doesn't look too bad, right? And then you click on that, and you're like, okay, I can do that, right? And click on that. Sulfuric acid, which I do not have. I could make it, but didn't have. So I just made this, wired it up to the machines using universal cable, so now I have a redstone furnace, which was my aqueous accumulator, which this thing still doesn't work. But, I mean, I did want to apologize or something. I think I was a bit too rough on thermal expansion, because it just came out, like literally the day I recorded it. It was the release of the pack, so I did put in the description that, that it is a this is like a snapshot testing server type dealio bit thing. Pretty much, if I do sound harsh on the mod, it's just because I spent all the time making it and changed it to something else. But yeah, now we have a pulverizer up. So this thing's running pretty good. Now, double ore, look at that. It's so much quicker than IC2. I do wanna... Did it come with these? Oh, that's nice. Look at that. It came with these. Oh, that is cool. I guess the redstone furnace didn't because I broke... Okay. Okay, that's actually a lot better that it comes with these basic ones, which is nice. You don't have to make them. That is very cool. I like that. Where'd it go? Oh, it must have auto-ejected. Yeah, it just auto-ejected into this and smelted it. That's cool. I like that. But it does. These machines do fill up relatively slowly. Especially this one has 100,000 redstone buffer. But yeah, I think what we're gonna do is the main reason I'm getting this is so I can get into Ender IO, because it's got some really cool stuff this time. So that's not gonna work. We have to go to here, there, Ender IO, and shift click. So this is all the stuff you can get. And what I'm really interested in is this dark steel, which requires obsidian, coal powder, and iron ingots and stuff, which is not that bad. I can get obsidian now. And then there's actually power generation, which is kind of weird, because in order to generate that, you need that, which requires power, I believe, from what it says in the recipe. Sorry about that, I just hit my microphone. I'm recording this before I went out and got my new mic stand, so maybe in the next clip or something, there'll be better. You won't be able to hear me click my keyboard all the time, which is nice. I've been really, when I was editing my videos, I just hear the keyboard, I'm like, I need to fix that, and I'm finally going to go fix it. The travel anchors and stuff look really cool, because they work with the staff of traveling and whatnot, so I definitely want to check this stuff out. It's just a bit expensive, and I don't exactly have ender pearls yet, which is what you need to make these. A lot of stuff in this actually requires ender pearls, hence the Ender IO thing, like that, which is ender pearl and that. So that's what you need this for. This is the main machine you'll be using with Ender IO and ender pearls. So I'm gonna go try and get some of those somehow. I'll be right back. So guys, one of the key aspects of Ender IO is alloys and ender pearls, but alloys as well. So right here we're making electrical steel so we can make a vat to generate more power using a cool Ender IO thing that's new in the 1.7 pack. There's a spider somewhere and I don't feel like getting it. This is a sag mill here, and this is what we use to generate sand, which we can use to get silicon, which we need to make this alloy here. It's also used to make some other alloys within the mod. But we're not making those right now. We're just making the electrical steel, which should be... Yeah, it's fairly slow unless you add a capacitor in it, which requires more things, as of course, that's how upgrades work. So guys, I will be back after the bits are smelted. I say bits a lot. bits, bits and bobs. So these are bobs now. So I'll be back after the bobs are smelted. Alright guys, so we now have we have a vat. And this will kind of work the same way the alloy smelter works, except this one does liquids. So as you can see here, there's 2 slots for items and there's 2 slots for liquids. So we need to figure out a way to input water into this. And since the aqueous accumulator doesn't work, it looks like we may just have to use buckets. So what's cool about the Ender IO stuff too is if you click the configure, you can actually switch it to input. So if you right click it, you can switch it to pull, push, push pull, or disabled. So we're going to switch it to... So that's not actually how I want it. And then you can actually see the power cable too, so this is really neat. I like it a lot. I think we're just going to have to end up doing most of this manually, unfortunately. For now. So I'm going to set the tiny bit of automation up so that'll make it a bit easier, but I'll be right back with the materials and the liquids that we need. Alright guys, so we are finally at the point where we can create some nutrient distillation. So we take the rotten flesh and the sugar, and as you can see there, it's doing something. It's using the RF that is in the machine, and it's going to turn this into however many buckets of nutrient distillation, which we will find out. Watch it be like 1 millibucket or something. But we can use the nutrient distillation to use this, which will create more power. See, it consumes nutrient distillation. And we actually have a zombie skull right there, so it's pretty cool. There we go. So it produces half a bucket, which is cool. Should probably what's the fire doing? Oh, it produced a whole bucket. Awesome, that's really cool. I'll have to go kill more zombies now. And there we go. The zombie generator. Can boot that there. We can go to settings, we can tell it to pull. From there you can see it's got some stuff, and it's not doing anything. Maybe it needs a full tank. So I'll be back once I fill up the tank fully. So once I filled up the tank fully, yeah, this is done, it started generating redstone power, which is pretty good. I mean, this thing's running fairly quickly in comparison with those, which are terrible. These things do like, yeah, even these things these are draining. Is that because I have this on? Why are they draining? There's nothing that should be consuming power besides maybe the vat. That's full. That's full. Yeah, it's gaining power now, okay. So this is our main generating system now. I mean, it's kind of funny that this requires power in order to generate power, because this is like one of the power things. There's two... So the way Ender IO works now, in terms of power generation, there's pretty much 2 things. So let's look at it. There is the zombie generator, which we just made. This, so we'll just shift click that. And then there is the combustion generator, which requires the fire, water, or rocket fuel. Rocket fuel, of course, requires this, which requires water and potatoes and sugar, which pretty much food, essentially, which is not hard to make. So what I really want to do is I want to set up an automation system for the generation of this stuff, the nutrient distillation right here. Because now we're generating a surplus of energy. It's I guess it generates energy when it wants to. Like right now it's just generating 0, but the tank is still has stuff in it. So that's pretty weird. The only thing is, the zombies that spawn in this pack are incredibly armored up. Like, they can one-shot you, for one thing. They all spawn with swords, and they all spawn with full suits of armor. So I'm gonna have to work on killing some endermen, possibly, to get some ender pearls. And then we can set up a MFR grinder for the zombies and get some rotten flesh out of that. So I'll be right back after I've died 15 billion times from endermen or zombies. Bam! Auto spawner. So now we need a grinder to work with our auto spawner. Grinder, which isn't too difficult to get. It's just a that, which we can do. So what was it? A gold sword, piston. I have a piston. Bam! Maybe you're not prepared, even though I didn't know I would require a piston. Plastic sheets. I have those over here. But no. Bam. Like so. Doop. And then we need the gold sword and a book. Gold sword and a book. I do not have a book. So guys, I've been busy setting up a ender system. It's cool. These reservoir blocks are very, very neat. They're from Ender.io and they create water. And they're cheaper than that stupid thing that doesn't work. Nah, I'm just kidding. But actually, no, I'm not kidding about that. It's actually cheaper and it's nicer. But that stupid thing still doesn't work, even though we haven't updated. But yeah. So I've been working on creating stuff here. This produces a hooch, which is kind of weird, which we can then send over here, combine it with gunpowder and redstone, which I ran out of gunpowder, and to make rocket fuel, which then goes into the combustion generator to produce rocket fuel. And this thing is this produces rocket fuel, which then goes into here, which generates RF using the rocket fuel. This thing is very efficient. I had 3 buckets, or 3,000 millibuckets. Yep. 3,000 millibuckets, and it only took 100 millibuckets to fill the whole 100,000, so it's very, very efficient, which is cool. And I'm using that right now to power all my machines, along with the zombie generator, which only works if you fill it up a lot. So I've just got that sort of there. I've been killing zombies like nobody's business. So yeah, I've got this. I can actually set up all my machines now. So let me get my pulverizer out of my chest, because before, with just the heat generators, I had energy loss, but now I have like double super energy gain. I'm thinking about setting this system up over by the auto spawner, which I made. It's nighttime. Let us sleep first, and I'll go over there and show you the room I've been carving out for that. I still want to do a lot of changes to it aesthetically, but it's going to be functional for now. But yeah. Dang it, I said again. Let's see here. Over here, there was a few creeper explosions, but I fixed most of it. Oh yeah, this house burnt down. The lava is actually right inside this wall here. It doesn't catch the chisel blocks on fire, but it burnt down this little house here, which doesn't matter too much. It's just a small village house. But over here we have our auto spawner room with the simple off-on mechanism. It's not wired up or anything like that yet. One thing I noticed is that the current thermal expansion version doesn't have item ducts or fluid ducts. So we're going to have to use like buildcraft ducts, or we're going to use these things, and we're going to have to wire it up with other mods, which is kind of weird, but that's nothing too challenging. I mean, we can just make a bunch of basic cable and whatnot to wire it up, but pretty much mobs will spawn in here, they'll go down there and get killed by the grinder, which is down below, which I'll have like a ladder to, and that will pump items, and it'll pump the items into a iron chest or something over here, and it will give the mob essence will just have to, for now, it will have to come from our levels. So we have a little XP extractor with a bucket right here, and we'll just do that, and we'll have to put it into a tank or something that I'll have wired up to that spawner in there. But a full tank, a full buildercraft tank is plenty to supply it for a while, at least for now. But yeah, I definitely want to wire this up to probably... So, in order for us to get more rocket fuel, we're going to need more gunpowder and redstone. In order for us to farm that, we're going to need some... we're going to need creepers and safari ball, and we're going to need witches to get redstone from, and witches don't always drop redstone, so that's going to be tough to get a renewable source of energy from that. In order to farm the hooch stuff, you need potatoes and sugar, so it's essentially like a starch. So we're turning starch into rocket fuel, which is kind of neat. But yeah, for now, I don't think I'm going to get this wired up this episode. It's just taking way too long to craft all the items and whatnot. I've been spending a lot of time with Ender.io. I do want to work on the upgrades a bit. I don't know if you can upgrade the combustion generator. If you could, that would be kind of insane, as it is really, really... No, you can't upgrade this, but yeah, the configure, I really like the configure. You can just sort of see where the power is coming from, even though it looks like this green untextured liquid, which is kind of neat. You can like zoom in. It's kind of, if you guys are familiar with Google SketchUp, it has the same controls as that. Pretty much you can pan around, see the whole thing, which is really neat, so you can see what it's going into. But yeah, the reservoir was very cool. I think I'm out of water here, so it's not going to produce anymore. I should probably get another reservoir over here, which isn't a problem. It just requires a bit more iron and some fused glass. Actually, let's... I have two, but it's really cool because it actually generates water. So just by having a 2x2x1, so you have two there, we need two more, which means we need to craft... Where is our fused quartz at? Here you are. Let's just do that. That will go there. We'll have the glass here and here. And we need a cauldron, which means we need iron, which is in... some of it's there. Iron... Are we out of iron already? Oh, there it is. Yeah, we're gonna need to go mining again. I need to make a cauldron. Sorry, iron bars, but you're gonna have to go for now. Bam, and there we go. Reservoir, as you can see, it makes two. All we need to do is that, and you can see it linked up together, and it has a little water drop, so it'll make 1 bucket per minute unless you fill it up, in which case it'll generate faster. Where is our buckets at? We had like 3. I think they're all filled with mob essence. Yeah, we'll just make some more. I'm gonna go make a hammer later and just go mining again, because I did lose my hammer to the nether glitch. If you have gravestones in the nether and keep inventory on at the same time... Oh. Yep, there you go. Look at that. Oh. No, you're not a block. No. Cobblestone work. Nope. No, go. The generators, however, do not generate energy, and so they don't use the actual fuel unless they are unless they're draining energy. So right now you can see this is at a constant, and our combustion generator is full, so it's not going to waste the thing producing excess redstone power, which is what I believe that's what the other generators do, like the steam dynamos and whatnot from thermal expansion. So this is really cool that they actually maintain that unless they actually need to run, which is very cool. I do like that. I believe we have most of the basic machines set up here. If we look here, the only other things we can set up really are the dimensional stuff, and that's all requires ender pearls. Now there is something the powered spawners seem very cool. I want to try those out. Evidently they only need... Yeah, they need power, obviously, because it's a powered spawner, but if you break a spawner, it gives you a broken one. So you just take an anvil and the powered spawner to put it together, and I believe you can control it. I'm not totally sure how that works. We'll definitely check that out next episode, but for now, guys, I'll see you next time. Hope you enjoyed, and as always, stay classy.